Hey everyone, and welcome back to the candy shop for today's self-care session, which, as we all know, there has been so much drama going on these YouTube streets that I need to take some time to talk about some healthy ways to deal with real life haters and online trolls, since that is something that we have witnessed. That's something that we've all gone through. Oh no. So first, as you guys come in, be sure to like and subscribe and to share. And also, for those of you watching the replay, thank you so much for joining us, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a live and you can join us. So as my candy canes come in, I'm going to say hi to you guys. Be sure to drop a comment in the comment box if you have any questions or anything you want to cover during our time together. Again, it's going to be a self-care session on 10 healthy ways to deal with real life haters and online trolls, which is very applicable for everything going on in the world right now. Jade MC2 says, hello, candy canes. Hey, sweetheart. Yes. Hey, beautiful, young, rich, skinny.org. She was glad I'm here on time, girl. They just had a whole fist fight. Oh no, not your friends. The friends that you said that were beefing, they had a whole fist fight. Girl, you need to stay out of that. I'm telling you, stay out of it. Stay out of it. The key theme for tonight is based on Queen Beyonce's lyric and affirmation. Always stay gracious. The best revenge is your paper. So that is our, operating assumption for our time together. Stay gracious. The best revenge is your paper. Stay focused on your goals. Stay focused on getting your money up. Stay focused on leveling up in your life. And don't let haters and trolls distract you from achieving everything that is meant for you in this life. So, hey, Darren Hood, he says, hi, Candy Canes. He goes, evening, y'all. Yes, evening. Hey, Renee D, she goes, hi, Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Jay Mesa, he goes, hi, Candy. Hey. Yes. Wanda Johnson says, hi, Candy. Hi, sweetheart. Yes. Why you bothered? That is such a great name for tonight. She goes, hey, Candy. Hey, Candy Canes. Yes. Hey, beautiful Domino. She goes, hello, beautiful Candy, the Candy Canes. How are y'all? Yes, we are blessed and highly favored in the candy shop tonight. Yes, we are. Queen Third Eye says, good evening, precious Candy. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Joanna Morris says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Yes. J. Mesa says, Candy Shop Squad. Exactly. We hold it down. We hold it all the way down in the candy shop. Hey, beautiful Appy News. She goes, hey, Candy Canes. Hey, Candy. Hey. All right. So as you guys come in, again, remember to like, subscribe, and comment in the box, or comment in the chat box. So without further ado, I am going to dive into the topic for tonight's self-care session, which is 10 healthy ways to deal with real life haters and online trolls. So again, this is very applicable for everything going on the last couple of days with She Who Shall Not Be Named and everyone else. But I think this also just applies in general and in life, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your family dynamics, whether it's in your friendships. Hey, To Be Native. So To Be Black Native says, hey, Candy Shop and the Candy Games. Hey, beautiful. Baby Tay says, hey, Candy Girl. Hey, beautiful. Thank you guys for coming. So I think that this topic applies universally. Whether it's with your friends, whether it's your family, whether it's with strangers online who are, keyboard ninjas going after you, someone that you've never met. Just in life in general, I wanted to share some tips and insights on how to keep your calm, keep your composure, and keep your character intact when haters and online trolls are coming after you. So my first insight is, remember who you are. Remember that you are already worthy. You are already valuable. You are already enough intrinsically. I believe in a higher power, but you don't have to, whatever you want to call it, the universe, God, infinite spirit, whatever you want to call it, even if you are agnostic, whatever it may be, just as long as you know that your inherent value and worth is not contingent upon anybody's opinion of you. So regardless of what anybody says about you, that does not take away your intrinsic value. Now, I know that can be really hard because I know there's a sentiment, oh, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Well, that's bullshit. Words hurt. Words are powerful. Someone can say something to you or write a comment to you that can cut you to your core. Words are powerful and words do hurt. So we have to be honest about that. We have to be mindful about what we say to each other and what we say to ourselves. And then we have to be mindful of how we filter out what people say to us and about us, because words are hurtful. Words do hurt. But when somebody says something to you that is hurtful, a way to deal with that hurt is to remember who you are. Remember that that person's words do not define you. It's not about what you're called. It's about what you respond to. So just because someone has an opinion of you or they have something hateful to say about you, their word is not bond. Their opinion is not truth. Their thoughts are not fact. So remember who you are. You are beautifully and woefully made exactly as you are. And somebody's hateful words cannot take away from your value unless you allow them to. And I don't say that to say, oh, just, think fanciful thoughts and, nobody's words can hurt you. No, we're human beings. I'm keeping it real. Sometimes when people say something about you, it hurts. So allow yourself to feel that hurt, but then remember who you are so you can get over the hurt without internalizing what they say. So you're not allowing what they say about you to sabotage where you are in your life and to sabotage your success. Joanna Morris says family can sometimes be the worst. Girl, absolutely. I will tell you a personal story. Someone in my family, I'm not going to say who it is, but someone in my family a few years ago, someone that should have been like a best friend. Again, I'm not going to tell you who it was. Told me that I would never make it, that I looked like dog shit, that I was fat, and that everybody in LA and Atlanta, all the women would surpass me because I wasn't good enough to make it. And this was someone in my family said this to me. Said this to me with a straight face. Said that to me. I'm going to get into more about why I was able to not internalize her words. I think that's number 7. But I just had to make a comment about that family can sometimes be the worst. Family usually are the worst. It's usually the people that you expect to support you the most. Sometimes are the ones who portray you the most. It's either like the best friend that you thought had your back or a family member that you think we're family. You should support me in my grind and in my come up and all of those things. So yes, sometimes it is family who say the worst things to you. I'm not excusing what she said and I'm not happy that she said it, but it did help me on my journey to having a very thick skin. Because if someone that I truly love and I expect to love me back, someone who is a part of my immediate family, can say the most cutthroat things to me, and I can still wake up and know that I have a purpose and that I have a passion. And that sorry, I didn't mean to cry, but just thinking about what she said. See, it's proof. Words hurt people. But I was still able to not let what she said to me stop me. And I still knew that I was meant to do great things. So you're right. Sometimes family is the people who hurt you the absolute most when they're the ones who are supposed to have your back. But you have to go back to step 1. Remember who you are. You are worthy, you are valuable, you are approved, and you are validated. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Number 2, remember your why. So this means if you have a passion or a career or a dream or a goal in your life, when you get haters, whether they are in real life or whether they are online trolls, focus on your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Like for me, my why is I want to add values to the life of others through storytelling. So like through my podcast and movies that I make and my YouTube channel now, just talking to you guys and telling stories and doing fun recaps and just having time together to be with each other and just to have fun, right? So that is my personal purpose. That is my why. I just want to help other people through storytelling, regardless of what platform that may take. So when someone is coming at you and is trying to bring you down, focus on your purpose. Focus on the why of what you're doing, right? Focus on that. And don't let anybody deter you from fulfilling your purpose in life. So focus on your why. The third tip is know when to engage and when not to engage. This works for both online and with online, like in real life, and also versus in online as well. So, for example, when Blaine was coming after me, normally I would not have engaged in that. But since I am new to the space and I, am just starting out, people may not be familiar with me. So with her tweeting on her accounts, saying all these disparaging and defamatory things about my integrity, I felt that I had to respond. I didn't engage directly with her. I wasn't tweeting at her. I wasn't commenting on her stuff. I wasn't emailing her. I wasn't doing anything directly to her. So I didn't engage with her as in some type of like back and forth Twitter battle or anything. I just engaged in the sense of I went public with what my position was, respectfully, and open it up for open discussion because my integrity was being called into question. And people may not know me. So someone might read that and actually believe that. And as a content creator, I do have a reputation to uphold. If I want my candy cane community to trust me, if I want to work with brands or networks or studios one day, my reputation matters. My integrity matters. So when someone comes after me in that way, I have to respond and stand up for myself. And I think people have to do the same. But knowing when not to engage is just as important. If someone is just doing low blows, if someone is just taking, shots at you about things that, yes, it may be hurtful. Maybe they're talking about your appearance or your talent or something like that. Don't engage with crazy, right? So if someone is coming at you on Twitter or on Instagram, don't engage in that way because it's like that saying, like you don't wrestle with pigs because you both get dirty, but the pig likes it. So you don't want to engage in that way. You don't want to get out of your character. You don't want to have this sort of toxic back and forth. If it comes to someone going after your integrity where it can hinder your business or your personal or your reputation or your career reputation, then yes, address it in a very respectful, classy way. But don't engage with the petty back and forth because then you look just as bad as they do. So knowing when to engage and when not to. And then for in real life, this means having healthy boundaries with people. So if there is someone, for example, the person that I was talking about in my family, I had to create very strong boundaries with this person. And I only allow her in my life in very small doses and with very limited access and at very limited times in order to protect myself. Literally in order to protect myself. So it translates from not engaging on social media with like Twitter back and forth or whatever it may be to in real life creating healthy boundaries with people. If it's someone in your family, if it's someone in your friend group, if it's somebody at work, create those boundaries. Don't allow them to talk to you any sort of way. If you're going to yell at me, if you're going to berate me, if you're going to be mean to me, then I'm going to end this conversation. Then you can't come over to my home. then I can't engage with you at certain things, and I'm not going to invite you to stuff. You are allowed to create healthy boundaries with people in your life, regardless of who they are. Family or no family, friend or foe, you are allowed to create boundaries in your life. You are allowed to say to people, this is the way you can treat me, and this is the way you cannot treat me, and then these are the consequences for when you treat me a certain way that I already told you you could not treat me. And that is okay. Your peace and your well-being is your first and best priority. If it pisses people off, oh well, they'll get over it. You have to worry about you, your health and your happiness and your well-being. The fourth insight is have a support system of people that you trust. So when either in real life haters or if online trolls come after you, right? That can be tough. It can be hard. I mean, reading sometimes like comments people say, or, you know, backhanded compliments people in your life may say to you. It can be hard not to internalize it. If someone is being mean to you, if someone is judging you, if someone is criticizing you, if someone is putting you down, we're all human beings. No matter how evolved we are, no matter how emotionally intelligent we are, we're still human beings, and it can still infiltrate and it can still hurt. So have people in your life that can show you support and love. You know, maybe you can go to your spouse or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever it is and be like, oh, you know, my mom's tripping today, or my sister's tripping today, or my brother's tripping today, or oh my God, did you see these trolls online, what they're saying about me today? Have someone in your life, you know, or it could just be a best friend, or maybe it's a support group, maybe it's a therapist. You just never know. Just have some form of support for someone that you can talk to this stuff about. Because I know, especially online with people who troll, they sometimes don't realize that they're talking to an actual human being. That someone reading that has a beating heart, a pulse, feelings, emotions, all of it. So sometimes people online, whether intentional or not, are just reckless with what they say. They don't stop and think that another human being is going to read this. How is that human being going to feel when they read this? So you have to really have a support system for when you get those trolls, for when you get those people in your life who put you down, so that your support system can help you through it. They can help you reinforce your boundaries. And they can also help you reinforce your own self-love and self-worth. Like, of course, it all comes from within, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-love, your self-worth. But a part of truly loving yourself is allowing other people to help you and allowing other people to support you. You don't have to go through these things by yourself, and you don't have to go through these things on your own. You don't have to be above human. You don't have to be a super person. You don't have to be a superwoman or a superman. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to pretend that it doesn't hurt, because we have to be honest about these things. Sometimes a message from a stranger can be really hurtful, really, really hurtful. So a part of taking care of yourself is having people in your life who reaffirm you. So get that support system. The fifth insight is block, delete, and mute. If someone is coming at you online and they are just saying mean things, even if it just feels off, block, delete, and mute. You know what I mean? You don't owe people a follow. You don't owe people a like or an engagement. You don't owe people space in your life, whether it's in person or whether it's digitally. You don't owe people position in your life. So if anybody is online, and even if it's just the content that they're posting, even if it's triggering to you or things like that, block, delete, and mute without apology. You are responsible for your feed, for what shows up. You are responsible for the content that you consume. So if someone is writing nasty messages to you, don't go with a back and forth with them, because that's what they want. They want your attention. They want to distract you. They want a reaction. They want to know that they're getting to you. Block them and delete them and mute them and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? You don't owe anybody space in your life, whether it's in person or whether it's digital. So if someone is disturbing your peace, whether it's a stranger online or a family member, create those boundaries. Block, delete, and mute. The seventh insight on healthy ways is consider the source. Consider the source. Who is saying these hateful, critical, judgmental things to you? Is it a random person having, keyboard courage, saying all these things, hiding behind a fake photo and a fake name? Well, how cowardly is that? So are you going to take to heart something that a coward says to you? No, you have to let that go. You can acknowledge, hey, what you said was pretty hurtful, but considering who it came from, I don't think that really has a lot of power or value in my life. And this is something I had to do with that family member I was talking about. I had to consider the source. And I was like, is this person well? No. Is this person a happy person? No. Is this person where they want to be in their life? No. So why would I take anything that this person says seriously or literally in my own life? Consider the source. If the source is poison, then most likely the fruit will be poison. So don't eat poison fruit. If it's somebody in your family, if it's a friend, if it's a keyboard warrior troll online, consider the source. Hurt people, and misery loves company. I guarantee you 99.9% of the time, someone who takes the time and energy out of their life to say something mean and hateful and just cruel to somebody else, that person is probably suffering in a pool of their own misery. They probably hate themselves. They're not happy with who they are, and they are just projecting their own internal demons and struggle onto you because your shine disturbs their darkness. And since they're not in a place to join your shine, they want to take your shine away. So consider the source when people come at you with stuff. Even if it's somebody online, does this person actually know me? Does this person have any authority in my life? What is this person doing with their life? So consider the source. If the source is rotten, the fruit will be rotten. Their words will be rotten. Their actions will be rotten. So don't get consumed by that. Consider the source. If you want guidance, if you want feedback, if you want all of those things, go to someone who has a joyful, plentiful, abundant, happy, overflow source. Go to someone who is 2 or 3 levels ahead of where you want to be. Go to someone who is so secure in who they are that they are not threatened by you being secure in who you are, right? Go to a pure source, or at least a source with good intentions for your life. So don't listen to people who are already living in misery, who are probably jealous of what you're doing. And it's more, usually when people do that, it's more of like, they think like, who do you think you are? I'm going to knock you down a peg or two. I'm not willing to up-level my life to where you are. So I want to knock you down to where I am to make myself feel better, right? So consider the source. The 8th tip is discernment. So have the discernment of, is what someone's telling me actually constructive criticism? Is it feedback that I actually can use to grow and to elevate myself? Because everything that somebody says to you that you may not want to hear doesn't necessarily mean that that person is being a hater. or is being judgy or critical. Sometimes people actually do have constructive criticism and constructive feedback that you can take and then use it to tweak and course correct what you're doing. So don't have blinders on either, right? Don't just think that anytime someone says something to you that might be a little hard to hear, or it might hit the ego a little bit, or you might think that they're telling you that you're doing something wrong or not right or anything like that. And again, it goes back to consider the source, helps with discernment. Does this person genuinely have my best interest in mind? You know, does this person tell me things in a loving way? Sure, maybe I don't want to hear it because it's not always nice to hear that you have improvements to make, right? We're human. We kind of want to think we got it all figured out, right? But does this person come from a genuine place of just wanting to actually help me grow and be better? Because that is the way you grow and be better, right? You can do things your way, but maybe somebody has an objective opinion on something, or their perspective is different, or, you know, they are 2 or 3 levels above you. So they've been there and they've done it, and they don't want you to make the mistakes that they made. So they're trying to give you some wisdom and advice based on their own life, right? So don't always take someone giving you constructive criticism as being a hater or being a troll, because then that just leads you to being just always on the defense, and it leads you to having blinders on and then not being able to have dialogues with people who may have a different opinion than you have. Like, you should be able to agree to disagree amicably. You should be able to talk about multiple perspectives without having to be right or put somebody down for not thinking the way that you think. So yes, have all of these things in place, you know, but also have an open mind and an open heart and an open spirit to receive constructive feedback in order to maybe do things differently or more effectively. So have that discernment too, because just because someone is saying something to you doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing it as a hater. But then also going back to knowing who you are and what your why is what this person telling me in alignment with my who and my why? And I will give you an example of this, a real life example of this. So someone left me a comment on one of my videos. It was a very nice comment, and they were just giving me constructive feedback. She was like, you know, she said, what did she say? She said something along the lines of, you know, you're doing a great job, but we just want to get to the T quicker. So I don't like it when you call out people's names and people's comments on the lives. It just takes too long. You're taking too long with the people's comments and the names. We just want to get to the T in and out and quicker. And I didn't take what she said as being a hater. I didn't think that she was trolling at all. I think that she was providing her opinion based on her experience and what her preferences were with my videos. And she was providing constructive feedback regarding what she would like me to do or not to do. So I think I heard it and I replied, and I was like, thank you so much for letting me know. Like, I'll take it into consideration. I wasn't like, oh, this online troll is trolling me. How dare she not like how I do everything? What does she mean I'm not perfect? No. Let me block and delete and remove this comment in person. No, I was actually like grateful. I was like, okay, well, that's some constructive feedback. That's her experience. But knowing who I am and knowing my why, I know that one of my big whys for building my community, I say it every live, is that I want everyone to feel heard and seen. I like taking the time to read everyone's names, and I like reading their comments, and I like responding to them, even if it's for 30 seconds or 60 seconds. I like that. I like having that community, right? Like, my channel isn't just about spilling tea and talking about that stuff. My channel is really about building a community. And I want people to know that I appreciate them spending their time with me. And so if I can spend a little bit of my time just honoring them and showcasing them, then I'm going to do that. You know, there's a fast forward button. If she doesn't like that, then she can fast forward to the T. to the tea, or she can get her tea from another source and just come back for other videos that she does like more. But I didn't take what she said. I took no offense to it. I didn't think she was being a hater or a troll at all. I sat back and I critically thought about what she said, and then I returned back to who I am and my why. And I knew that not engaging with my candy cane community, not shouting you out, not saying your name, not reading aloud your comments and your thoughts and your perspectives was not in alignment with my vision and my purpose. Because I want everyone to feel seen and heard. I want differing perspectives and opinions to be read and to be considered and talked about. I just don't want to sit up here and regurgitate alleged rumors and tea that I've heard from other bloggers and things like that, like sourcing people and just, give my opinion on things. I don't want that. I don't want to be a talking head. I want a community. I want dialogue. I want discourse. I want engagement, right? I mean, I know that when I watch people's lives and they say my name, I get a little giddy. I'm like, oh, that's my photo. That's my name. It's exciting. And I want that with my community. But I don't think the person who said that comment to me was trolling at all. And I actually appreciated that she said it, because then it reaffirmed for me my why and who I am and what I'm building and what my purpose and my vision is. So sometimes it's good to get that constructive feedback, because it can either reaffirm what you're doing, or you might be like, oh, you know what? Maybe she's right. Maybe I should take a little time back. Maybe I should go quicker into it. Maybe if that's in alignment with your purpose and your why. So don't be so closed off to constructive criticism and feedback. Number 9 is practice gratitude. Yes. So I know for me, over the last couple of days, again, all of this has been so unexpected for me, not anything that like I was planning or thought or anything like that. So for me, I had to remember to focus on all of the positivity and all of the really good things going on, because the level of trolling is so small, insignificant even, in comparison to the beautiful, self-affirming, positive, community-building comments and energy that we've been doing. So that is another big thing. Be mindful of your perspective. Be mindful of what you're focusing on. Are you focusing on all the great things that are working, the people that truly love and support you? Are you focused on your goals and what you're building? Or are you focused on the 1 or 2 people who are just so miserable in their own lives that they have to take out their time and their day to try and bring somebody else down? Are you focused on the 1 or 2 people, the 1 or 2 comments, the 1 or 2 things that are not in your favor? Because I guarantee when you shift your perspective, when you get grateful for all of the things going on in your life, when you get grateful for all the love and support that you do have, it becomes much, much harder for those little negative Nancys to get at you. You're like, okay, that's 1 negative comment, but I got 100 really great ones. What am I going to choose to focus on? I'm going to focus on those 100 really great ones, because those are the people that I serve. So that's who I need to be focused on. I need to be focused on the community that I serve, making sure I'm giving them great content, making sure I stay happy and joyful and focused. I stay on my game. And it's the same thing in your life. Whatever you're focused on, whatever you're trying to do, keep it going. Stay focused on the good. Be grateful for the good. And don't let the fly in the milk, the one little fly, mess up everything. Have the bigger picture. Do a gratitude list. If it's dealing with online trolls, try and block and delete as you can. Try not to read the comments too much. If it's somebody in your life, again, it goes back to Focus on your support system of the good people in your life who really are there for you, and create those boundaries with the people who have their own issues and demons that they're dealing with. So have a mind of gratitude and really focus on the community that you're serving. Focus on the goals that you're trying to manifest into your life. Focus on the big stuff. Keep your eyes on the prize, because the haters and the trolls, they want to distract you. They want to knock you off their game. So if you're busy trying to answer every troll, trying to clap back at every person, then all of that is wasted energy, wasted attention, wasted potential that you could be using in service of your greater good, of your higher vision, of your higher goals, of buying the house, booking the job, getting the relationship, getting this career, getting your financial goals, getting your health goals, whatever it is you got going on. Oh, thank you, Alexis. Thank you so much for that super set, sweetheart. Thank you, Alexis E. That's right, you guys. If you're in here and you like what we're doing, like and subscribe and share and comment. And thank you so much for the super sticker, Alexis. I appreciate you. But keep focused. Keep your eye on the prize. Your energy is so valuable. Your time is the most valuable, because that is the one thing you will never get back. You can get more energy, you can make more money, but we don't know how much time we have in this world. And once you spend time, you can't get it back. And we don't know how much of it we have. So that is our most precious commodity. So don't let trolls and don't let haters waste the precious time that you have on this planet. Don't give it to them, because they do not deserve it. I think I skipped one. I think I skipped number 6. So we're going to go back to that. Having haters in real life or online trolls, it's a cost of entry to success and to excellence. Dogs do not bark at parked cars. So if you have haters in your life and you have haters online, you should actually start to celebrate, because that means you're making waves. That means you're ruffling feathers. That means you are making an impact in the world. You're making an impact in your space. Think about anybody that you respect and admire, whether it's a celebrity or an athlete or an actor or a musician or just people in your life in general. You know, maybe it's a teacher or a professor or a coach or a parent or an aunt. Anybody in your life that you truly respect, who've truly done things. They could be a saint, and I promise you they still have haters. So actually having people who hate on you and having people who troll you is a sign that you are growing and that you are making a difference. It is a cost of entry to be excellent and to be successful. I know it's kind of cliche, but I love Oprah. Like, to me, she's one of like my staples, but there's a lot of used to have people have controversy around her. You know, and she gets judged for things that she does or doesn't do. You know, I love Beyonce. There's controversy around her for things that she does or doesn't do. And at the end of the day, we're all humans. But the fact that you have people coming at you is actually more of a sign that you're growing and you're making a difference. So get that thick skin, but do not get a bitter spirit and do not get a cynical mind, right? So don't get a cynical mind. It goes back to being open enough to receive constructive criticism. So you don't want your mind to just always go to negative, right? You don't want to be cynical. You don't want to be defensive. You don't want to be, bitter and jaded at the world and think that everybody's coming at you because you're so up here. You don't want that either. But you have to know that if you plan to be excellent, which I already know that you are, regardless of what you want to do in this world, you are already excellent and worthy and enough and deserving. And that will intimidate the insecurity that lives in other people. Because there's nothing that bothers an insecure person more is confidence in someone that they want to be like. So we need to start taking it as a compliment. I think, wasn't it Cat Williams who was just like, 20 haters? I want 40 by tomorrow, or like whatever he said, right? So we have to take it as a compliment. But I'm also fully aware that words still do hurt. So here are just some things I wanted to share on how to combat that hurt when it happens, because we're all human and some things hurt more than others do, of course, but here are some things. And then my last one, number 10, is, and I think this one actually might be the hardest one. I know for me it was. It's getting a lot easier, but I think this one is the hardest one, is to use it as a way to learn and grow on your journey to self-discovery. You know, I think it can be hard and it can be difficult, but think about when somebody says something judgmental of you or critical of you or really harsh and it triggers you. I mean, this is some high level stuff because I definitely still struggle with this. To have the awareness to think, well, why is this triggering me? Because all mean comments don't trigger us, right? Like somebody could say something really mean about someone's hair and that person could be like, whatever. But if you said something mean about somebody else's hair, that person might pop off. For example, you could say something about some girl A's weight and she could be like, whatever, you think I'm whatever? Psh, I know I'm fly anyway. But if you said something about girl's B weight, she might want to mollywop you. But then again, say you had girl A and you said something about the type of car that she drives. She might want to mollywop you. But if you say it to girl B, something about the car she drives, she's going to be like, girl, bye, whatever, I don't care, and keep it pushing, right? So there are certain things that trigger certain people. Thank you so much, AL, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. So there are certain things that trigger certain people. So if you can figure out why certain things trigger you, and you can get to the root cause of it. You know, does it remind you of something that somebody said in your childhood? Does it remind you of a past trauma? Is it, really activating a deep-rooted insecurity that you still have about yourself? Oh, Miss J, thank you so much. Hey, Miss J, 1999, I love your positivity. I really need this message today. Thank you. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. I mean, I'm telling you, I did this topic because I needed it, okay? Like, this is my personal group therapy session right now. I needed this week. These are the things I needed to remind myself of. So everything I'm saying to you today are things that I needed myself. So I really hope that it helps you too. But getting to the root cause, why does this person's comment hurt me so deeply? Why does this person comment trigger me? What is it about this comment, or what is it about this person that is activating my pain body, that is activating the pain that is still in me, that is activating my unhealed wound that is in me? Because that's what a trigger is, right? It's something that activates your unhealed wounds. And that's why you get triggered by it. So if you can take that and use it constructively to work on yourself, and I'm not saying it's a good thing for people to say these things to you so they can trigger you and you can be on your road to self-discovery. No, it is still wrong. It is still nasty. It is still unacceptable for anyone, whether they are in your real life or online, to say nasty and disparaging and rude and intentionally hurtful things to other people. Regardless if you're able to take what they say and make it constructive in your life, does not absolve that they are dead ass wrong for doing it. But if you're able to take what they're doing and somehow turn it into something that is good for you, then that is the way to go. Think about, why does someone talking about my hair? Why does someone talking about my weight? Why does someone talking about my love life or love status or my finances or my career or my children or whatever the thing is, right? Why does someone coming at me about this particular thing hit this way? When was the first time I thought I wasn't good enough? When was the first time I thought I wasn't pretty? When was the first time I didn't believe I would be chosen? When was the first time I thought I wasn't worthy of success? When was the first time I thought I wasn't worthy of love? When was the first time someone made me feel less than? When was the first time I believed I couldn't make it? And try to get to those root causes and then start the healing process and to clean it up. Because yes, as we all know, words are hurtful, but the stronger we get in who we are, the more we get clear on what our triggers are and why we're triggered by them, the easier it is to brush it off. The easier it is not to internalize it. The easier it is not to engage in response. The easier it is not to let it deter you and distract you from what you're trying to do with your life. So just to recap, and then I'll drop the link in case anybody wants to join, and then we can also see what you guys are saying in the chat box. But just to recap, the 10 ways to deal with in real life haters and online trolls in a healthy way. The first one is remember who you are. You are beautifully and woefully made. You have intrinsic value and worth. You deserve love, success, wealth, all of the things simply because you are here. And nobody's opinion about you changes your inherent value. I'll give you an example. I know I was about to go through the list, but I gave this example when I was doing an interview with Brenda. She's a candy cane. So hi, Brenda. And I gave this example. We were talking about romantic relationships and how not to let someone not liking you or someone not liking you, but someone not reciprocating your feelings or a breakup or whatever it would be, how to make it not affect your self-esteem. But I think this applies overall in remembering your worth, right? So say I'm a jeweler and I have my little jewelry shop and I have 2 diamonds. I have a diamond in my right hand that's worth $1 million. I have a diamond in my left hand that is also worth $1 million. And then a guy walks in the door and he sort of looks at both diamonds and he kind of looks at the right one, he looks at the left one, and he's like, all right, I'm going to buy the diamond in your left hand. Okay. So I give him the diamond, gives me $1 million, he walks out. Does the fact that he did not choose the diamond in the right hand make it any less worthy? Does it make it any less valuable? Absolutely the F not. Just because someone did not choose you does not take away your inherent value. If you haven't figured it out, you are the diamond. You are the diamond. Just because someone walked into a shop and didn't choose to buy that particular diamond does not devalue that diamond, because that diamond inherently is worth what it is worth. That diamond's value does not change based on the choices that someone else's makes. That diamond's value does not change based on somebody else's opinion of it. Because people's choices, preferences, and opinions change every single day. Today, someone might like you. Tomorrow, they may not. The next day, they might love you. Tomorrow, they may not. People are fickle. So thank God that your intrinsic value and worth is not contingent upon someone's opinion or somebody's words. That diamond that person did not choose is still worth $1 million, is still valuable. It still has its worth and value. It is still a diamond. The only way that diamond loses value is if you let the fact that someone didn't choose it affect the way you value it. So this is when we're getting into the area of self-esteem, self-worth. How do you value yourself? Self-respect. So it's not that person can take away the diamond, which is you. That person can't take away your value or worth. But if you decide that somehow now your diamond is worth less because of somebody's opinion, that is you giving your value, your worth, and your power away. Right? That person doesn't have the power. So when you start to feel less than, When you start to feel unlovable, not worthy, not good enough, just remember to yourself, I am the diamond, and my worth is intrinsic, and my value is intrinsic, and nobody has the power to take my value away. And that's just what it is. Number 2, again, remember your why. What is your purpose and your passion? Number 3, know when to engage and when not to engage. Sometimes you do have to stand up for yourself. Do it in a respectful way. Don't let anybody take you out of your character. Even if you have to clap back in a classy way. You don't have to be a doormat. You don't have to be a pushover. You don't have to be weak. But just do it in a way that honors the integrity of who you are, and don't engage in like petty back and forth, because they'll like that. Number 4 is have that support system. Have people, whether it's in real life or online groups or online communities, because some people, their main source of support is online, is community chats. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just have some people in your life who have your back and who you can talk to. Because a key component of loving yourself and taking care of yourself is letting people help you. You deserve support. You deserve support. You don't got to do this by yourself. Number 5, block, delete, and mute. We got some ninja warriors. We got some keyboard trolls going on. Block them and delete them. We have the options. Block and delete without apology. Even if you read the text wrong, block. Block them just in case. Number 6, it's a cost of entry to be successful and excellent. All successful and excellent people who are actually making a difference have haters, have naysayers. So just get comfortable with people not liking you. Because the truth is, everybody isn't supposed to like you. If everybody likes you, then nobody really likes you. Know that you will have naysayers and you will have haters, but also know that you have the tools to deal with them in a healthy way, because it is a cost of entry. Think about anyone who's ever done anything meaningful. Even if it's just, I don't mean even to just diminish this, but like, say you're a stay-at-home mom and you are taking care of your kids and you're holding down your family. You're not like a movie star or a celebrity or an athlete or a politician, but I bet you still have haters. Oh, did you see she did this with her kids? Oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. She went out with her girlfriends who was watching her kids. You will always have, no matter what you do in this world, you will always have someone trying to come at you. But you have the tools to deal with it, especially when you shine. Whatever your lane may be, from stay-at-home mom to the first Black female senator to whatever it is, you're going to have haters. It's a cost of entry to being excellent and successful. So the best thing that you can do is learn the tools, mentally and emotionally, to handle it. So when it comes, you know how to deal with it. Number 7 was consider the source. Usually when someone's coming at you, it's from a poisonous well. That person is miserable, unhappy, dark themselves, and they are trying to drag you into the gutter with them. You wouldn't eat rotten food or fruit from a rotten tree, so don't internalize the rotten words from a rotten person. Consider the source. Look for good, decent people that truly want to pour into you life and success, because there are good people out there. There are more good than bad. And that goes to number 8, discernment. Remember, everybody who has an opinion that you may not want to hear, it doesn't mean that they're a hater. There is constructive criticism and feedback out there. So we don't want to have a cynical mind. We don't want to have a bitter spirit. We still want to stay open and flexible to receive positive and constructive feedback, but have that discernment again. Who is telling me this, and why are they telling it to me? And then how can I use this to either reaffirm my position or to course correct my position? And then number 9, which is one of my favorites, practice gratitude. Be very mindful. Where am I putting my attention and my energy and time? Am I letting 3 or this little subgroup of people suck my joy out? Or am I being mindful and conscious and aware enough to focus on all of the people that do love and support me? Focus on the good. Keep your eyes on the prize. Again, like Beyonce said, always stay gracious. The best revenge is your paper. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on leveling up, on what you're meant to do, on what your purpose is, on what your goals are. Don't let the haters and the trolls distract you. Practice gratitude, because I promise you there is more good in your life than bad. And I know sometimes people have it really, really bad. And I'm not talking about extreme situations, obviously. I mean, in general, we can go through things, but if we focus on the good, it's an easier way to get out of it. And then number 10, use it as a way to learn and grow on your journey to self-discovery. Think about the why of the triggers. Why is this person triggering me? Why is what they're saying, even though I know they're nothing but a hater, they're nothing but a troll, but why is what they're saying bothering me so much? Why is it disturbing me so much? And then you can use that constructively to heal any unhealed wounds that you might still have. And it's always not that you have unhealed wounds that you're being triggered, but if it's triggering you to a very deep level where you can't really get over it, where you find yourself stewing over it, that might be a sign that it is triggering something bigger in you that you still need to heal and that you still need to work through. So those are my 10 reasons. I'm going to see what you guys are saying in the chat box. And I'm also going to drop the call-in link for everyone. And if you're liking this, please like and subscribe and share. Okay. All right, so I dropped the call-in link. You guys are saying amen. Shrinking Sharon says, I have been through this. Girl, me too. To be Black Native. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. So Shrinking Sharon says, so true. She says, I have been through this. Teresa says, amen. Hey, To be Black Native. To be Black Native.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I think I'm echoing a little bit.
I wonder why.
I don't know, but go on.
Let me.
No, I think it's gone.
Oh, good. I missed you.
Aww.
I forgot what I've been doing, but I've been busy.
That's okay.
There's so many of you guys now. You're everywhere.
We are. We just all popped up.
It's teacups moving all over the place.
Yes.
I don't know if you got my message yet, but when I was born in San Francisco, and I'm the baby in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother said, she told the nurse, oh, no, that can't be my baby. All my children are light-skinned. And she would tell this story, I don't know how many times. But if you pull up my message, you'll see a picture
okay,
of
let me see if I can find it. Oh, keep talking while I look for it.
Well, when you pull it up, if you find it, I sent you quite a few messages, but the first one explains what happened to me. When you cried, when you started crying, it brought back memories to me.
Yeah.
And if you look in the picture, when you see my chat, you'll see a picture of me and my mom.
Okay.
She's Queen B1 and I'm Queen B2. And so that's where the 2B comes from.
Got it.
And also because I got tired of people misspelling my name. My name is Robin with 2B. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Queen Bee one in the red. That was taken in Charlotte Hall, Maryland in
Uh-huh.
2015.
Okay.
And I have another picture that we took together at the beginning of 2019. And in
Okay.
April of 2020, I lost my mom to COVID-19.
Oh, I am
So
so sorry.
my mom's very special because I was the last one I was her last surviving child. And I was the baby in the family. All my
Yeah.
siblings are gone. They picked on me all the time when I was little. They would make fun of me. And that situation took care of itself because I was, I guess, a blue baby. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I came out. Instead of coming out light like most babies come out, I came out dark. But she would tell that story and I would feel insecure, like I wasn't good enough. And I always, everything I did, everybody always did it better than me. You know, my oldest sister, she was smart and she
Mm-hmm.
was the prettiest. And, you know, my brothers, they're guys. So I don't know what they were going through. But, and then the middle girl, my sister that was closer to my age, she, she went through some stuff herself with my mom. So it wasn't all of us, but because I was the baby, nobody ever listened to me. So it was
Mm-hmm.
always, you know, I had to vie for people's attention because I was the baby. And, you know, I was either they were spoiling me too much or they were ignoring me. You know, it was never a happy medium. And I went through it on my jobs and stuff too, where, you know, they wouldn't listen to me because I was the little black girl. What does she
Mm-hmm.
know? You know, so I when you start crying, that triggered me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Oh,
to.
that's
I
okay.
Oh, I
No.
wasn't expecting that.
Because like you said,
I
that
triggered
this is
myself.
also healing. You helping to heal me, actually.
Yeah. Well,
Because I
I
know
love you too, B.
everybody goes through stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I love you too, B. I love you.
I love you more.
Yeah. And I'm the
And
baby too, so I know
are
exactly
you
how
the
you
baby?
feel.
See, I knew we see each other.
We see each other.
We see each other. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, God bless you. I
God
love
bless you
your movie, by
too.
the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I need to start writing again. And
Yeah.
film something else.
I'm a writer. I like to write, but I've
Yeah,
never written a movie. Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I like to write.
Yeah. Maybe one day we could do a like a poetry reading or a short story reading where we can get people together and we
I'm
could
good with
read.
short stories. I have quite the
Yeah.
imagination
We could
because
do
my
like an open
grandparents
mic.
raised me. So I
We
spent
could
a
do
lot
like
of
an
time by
open mic.
myself playing with pencils and stuff. And I would have like an audience. I always wanted to be in something where I had an audience and I would have what do you call them? Characters?
Yeah.
My pencils were my characters. And
Aw.
you know, I didn't have a lot of toys and stuff, but I would play with pencils at the table by myself, and literally, I would
Mhm.
have a stage play presented. And you know, I didn't know I was going to be a good writer. I didn't find that out till I was in high school. But yeah,
Yeah.
we should do something together.
We will. We will. We'll do something. Thank you, Tubi. I'm going to read this comment from My Opinion, Not Yours. Thank you so much, sweetheart. She goes, Candy, I've been experiencing depression more in life at this time. My biggest hurdle is my relatives. I've watched every video of yours. The steps you give and dissect the issues really help me. Oh, I love you. I love you. And thank you so much for sharing My Opinion, Not Yours. And like, I mean, it's so true because the family dynamic is so hard because there's all these societal stigmas that we think we can't, like, oh, it's family, you can't say no to family, you always have to be there to family, blood is thicker than water, and oh, just take it, don't say anything, you know, like all of those things that people tell you where it's like, you know, someone is disrespecting you, you know, someone is treating you wrong, you know that someone is abusing you emotionally or mentally and sometimes physically, but we have this false unhealthy mindset that we have to take it because they're family, or that we have to allow them back into our lives, or that we have to Or somehow people will do religion and be like, well, God wants you to forgive. Well, yeah, God wants you to forgive, but God doesn't say you have to forgive and allow back. I can forgive you and love you from a distance. Doesn't mean I'm allowing you to play position in my life anymore. And I think we have to start normalizing healthy boundaries with family. Like, usually family are the people who installed the triggers. Like, just like you were talking about, you were saying like how you felt in your family mirrored how you felt then in adult life. This is so true. How the roles that we play in our family dynamics, if we don't heal them, are the same exact roles that we will mirror in our adult life. That's why people always say, oh, little girls mirror their daddy and mama boys and all this stuff. So if you really get clear on what are the roles, what are the dynamics, healthy and unhealthy, that I play in my family, I bet you can see that in your friendships and in your career and everything else. Like, I know in my family, I used to be very, very, very codependent. So I had a really hard time saying no. I thought I always had to help people. I thought I always had to say yes. I felt responsible for other people's happiness, for other people's well-being, and being very numb to who I was. Like, what were my feelings? What were my wants? What were my needs? Always putting myself last, never wanting to be looked upon as being selfish or anything like that. When the truth is that was really unhealthy. You're supposed to say no. You're supposed to have boundaries. You're supposed to have standards. You're supposed to be selfish. It's not even really being selfish. It's just taking care of yourself first, which is what you're supposed to do as a healthy individual. But when you have unhealthy patterns in your family and they become normalized, you think that's right. So then you go on to become someone in the world who can't say no to their friends, can't say no to their partners, can't say no at work, swallowing everything that they want to say or do, becoming depressed, becoming anxious, feeling unfulfilled, having no inner peace. And it's usually traced back to what was the role you were told you had to play as a child. That's usually the role that you continue to play as an adult. So, and you just have to learn on it. And it sucks that those triggers and that trauma wasn't your fault, but it's your responsibility as an adult to correct, because you deserve to live a fulfilled life as a healthy, self-approving, confident adult. So thank you so much, my opinion, not yours, and sharing that with us. Can I get a witness? Says to be Black Native, very relatable. Thank you so much. 0317 memes says like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yes, yes, yes. Deeper Than Skin is giving us some claps. Can I get a witness? Says yes. Queen Third Eye says that is truth. Learn to say no unapologetically. And that's really how we have to start to be. We have to get so obsessed with feeling good, so obsessed with respecting ourselves, so obsessed with our own well-being and the quality of our own lives that we can no longer tolerate someone else disrespecting our peace, overstepping our boundaries. Because that's how I am now. I mean, it took a while. I had to do a lot of work. But now, fortunately, I am a much happier, healthier, stronger, confident version of the woman that I was always supposed to be. And it does take taking that responsibility for your life, for looking in the mirror and saying, what are my patterns? What are my triggers? And again, it's not about judging yourself. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about empowering yourself with the knowledge and the tools to live your most fulfilled life. And sometimes that means saying no to some people who got away with running you. Hey, Joanna Morris, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Candy, I don't know. Oh, I didn't know you were a writer. Yes, I'm a vocalist. I absolutely love your channel for positivity. This was much needed for me today. Tears. Aw. Well, I hope that they are happy tears. And yes, I am a writer. I've written and published 3 books. Sorry, guys. 3 books. I wrote and produced a film called Narcissist. It's on Amazon Prime Video and it's on SoFi TV. And then I also write, I do blogging and short stories and all of those fun things. So yes, I am an overall content creator. So thank you so much for that, Joanna. But I hope those are positive tears. I know I was talking with To Be Native and I triggered myself too. I didn't expect like 3 minutes in for the waterworks, but no matter how much work you do, sometimes when you just remember things that have happened or things that have been said or stuff like, see, you guys get me going again. It's impactful. And it goes to what we were talking about earlier. It's like that saying, you know, sticks and stones might break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Like exactly like we said in the beginning, that's bullshit. That is utter bullshit. Words really do hurt. And words are very, very powerful. And they are very, very meaningful. And it takes a very conscious and aware person to be able to assign the power and meaning that they give to other people's words. And that's essentially what we're trying to do here today. Get that awareness, get that strength, get that wisdom, get that discernment, get that consciousness, where instead of allowing other people's words to infiltrate our inner peace and our energy and our space, we have the power to say, I choose not to give that person's words power and meaning in my life. But that is a conscious choice that you have to work on. But baseline, words are very powerful. Words start wars. Literally, nations don't just wake up one day and they were like, we're going to fight. Words think about it. Arguments escalate into fights. Arguments escalate into violence all the time. She said something that made it pop off. He said something that made it pop off, right? Very rarely does violence or anything like that pop off in a vacuum. Usually there is something that was said that instigated it. And this doesn't mean that, but this by no means condones violence. I'm not trying to say that at all. My only point is in saying that is words are meaningful and powerful. And whether or not that person is even conscious of what they're saying still has meaning and power. Just like Tubi and I were talking about, right? Like her mother made this comment about her as a baby. And whether or not it was even the mother's conscious intention, the mother kept repeating that. And it eroded her self-esteem and her self-confidence and her sense of self. Because words are powerful. Words ultimately build our belief system. If you grew up in an environment where you were always being invalidated, ignored, neglected, overlooked, abandoned, abused, verbally, mentally, all emotionally, all of it, that is impactful. And it boils down to the words that we say to each other. The power of life and death is where? In the tongue. And that is very true. Did your parents speak to you lovingly? Did they reaffirm your intrinsic value and worth? Did they pour into you? Did they tell you you were worthy? Did they tell you you could do it? Did they tell you you were deserving? Or did they tell you you were too fat? Did they tell you you were too skinny? Did they tell you you were too dark? Did they tell you you were too light? Did they tell you you were too stupid? Did they tell you you couldn't? Did they tell you you were a mistake? Did they talk about your daddy all day long like he was a piece of crap? Did he talk about your mommy all day long like she was a piece of crap? They're words, right? But they're so powerful. And they condition our subconscious mind. They condition our belief system. And if you think about any trigger you have, and what's the first thing to do to get to the bottom root of it? When was the first time someone told me? And what are those words? When was the first time someone told me I would always be picked last, that I wasn't good enough for marriage, that I wasn't good enough for money, that I wasn't good enough to have X, Y, and Z? Words are extremely powerful. But it's lucky for us that we are extremely powerful as well. And we have the power to determine the amount of energy, effort, and time, meaning, and power that we assign to other people's words. So if someone is tweeting at you, they're commenting, they're doing the most on any social media platform, you have the power to block and delete and to mute. And if someone in your real life is throwing shade at you in a mean way, if they're saying hurtful things to you, if they are criticizing you, if they are judging you, if they are putting you down, you have the power to create healthy boundaries. There are some people that you are allowed to just cut out of your life. And if you can't cut them out, you have the power to create healthy boundaries. You are the ultimate authority on you. And you owe it to yourself to protect your peace. Because that is your number one job, is to take care of you. That is your number one job. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, guys. I didn't mean to cry. Okay, let's see. Can I get it when it says, hi, Desiree BJ. Queen Third Eye says, choose you. Rose Gold Butterfly with Alfie says, preach, Candy. Yes, yes, yes. Allison Labidai, sorry, says, you are so right. The tongue can be a very venomous weapon. Yeah. Life or death is in what? The power of the tongue. It is so, so true. Oh, let's see what Desiree BJ is saying. Can I get a witness? Says Lord, yes. Candy. Shrinking Sharon says yes. Rose Gold Butterfly with Althea says yes. Protect the peace. Desiree BJ says, I realized that I have mommy issues. She was very negative, and now that she is gone, she is still in my head. I now have to seek help. I am not living my best life. Desiree, let me tell you this. You are not alone. I would say that 99.9% of all human beings have some form of daddy and or mommy issues. Because our family, particularly our parents, are the ones who primarily install these triggers, whether they mean to or not. And I just want to say that I am so sorry that you're going through that. I'm sorry that she has passed. But I also want to say that I am so proud of you for seeking help. I think that is the single most effective and best thing that someone can do for themselves, because it goes back to what I was saying before. You deserve to have a support system. You deserve to have someone who can help you navigate this. You didn't become this way by yourself. You're not going to heal by yourself. So Desiree, I am so proud of you, and I am rooting for you. And thank you for being honest, because the more of us that start to talk about it, the more of us that are being honest, and the more of us that get help, the quicker and faster we will all collectively heal and start to live our best lives and start to step into the full versions of ourselves, the empowered, beautiful, confident creatures that we were born to be. Because if you think about it, there is nothing more sexy and attractive than when you see someone who just is living in their essence, who just shows up fully as who they are. Everyone else be damned. It's that je ne sais quoi. It's that there's just something about him. It's an aura, right? It's intoxicating to meet someone who is just comfortable in their skin. And that is how we all deserve to be. We all deserve just to be comfortable in our own skin and showing up fully as who we are. That is what we all deserve. And Desiree, I know it might be tough now. I know you say you're not living your best life, but I want to speak life into you. You're doing all the right things. You're being honest and you're getting help. So you are on the right track. And it's not going to always be easy, but speaking from personal experience, it will be worth it. It will be worth it. And reach out if you ever need anything or if you ever want to talk. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Oh, wait. So P. Oh, Allison says, don't worry. Everyone mispronounces my last name. I'm sorry. Labadai, I guess. I'm not sure. Sorry. Okay, let's see what P is saying. Okay, P says, we live in words and stories. They are a ridiculous amount of emotion, not just thought behind the words we use. No, it is so true. It is so true. Words are meaningful and words are powerful. And words do have emotions behind it. You know, like even just saying, like, let's just do an example, right? Take the word hello. What if I was like, hello? 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 Right? It's the same word. But the energy, the intentionality behind it is so different. So yes, you're right. We do live in words and stories, and there are a ridiculous amount of emotions. It's not just the thought behind the words that we use. We are conveying a message with our words. So you're right, P. Teresa says therapy is a gift. Take a leap of faith and make that call today. Exactly. And there's so many different types of therapy. You can go to talk to someone with talk therapy in person. There's therapy apps. There's virtual therapy. There might even be, I don't know everybody's, like if everybody has healthcare or not, but I know that there might be like free programs. Just Google it, you know, in your city or state or wherever you are if you need that resource. Check in with your health provider, see if they provide things. So there are resources out there for you. And there is no shame and no stigma in getting help at all, because you deserve to live a fulfilled and happy and healthy life. Hey, Lathina. She says, my mom passed 27 years ago and it never gets better, but it is what you make of it. Easier said than done. I totally know. Yeah, it is so true. It's so true. And it goes back to, I think, what Desiree was saying, everyone. But the people's words, even if they're alive or dead or in our lives or not, they take up real estate in our mind. It goes back to what we were saying, to what the other person said, you know. Anything like, say if your mom always got on you about your weight, whether or not she needed to or not, maybe because usually it's their own thing. Usually when somebody's insecure about something in themselves, they project it onto their children. So it's usually their own insecurity. So say your mom herself was insecure when it came to food and eating and her weight, and she projected it onto you. So now as an adult, do you feel guilty when you have dessert? Do you over-exercise? Do you under-eat? You know, or do you do the opposite? Do you binge? You know, do you emotionally eat? And then you have your mom's voice in the back of your head. Oh, you're so fat. You're going to get fat. Oh, your thighs. Oh, this, that. You'll never fit anything. No man's going to want you. Or you're going to eat that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So regardless of what you weigh and regardless of what you eat, you have that negative track that your parents planted in your head, in your mind, sabotaging the quality of your life. So you don't even enjoy the food that you're actually eating because you feel guilty for eating it. You don't enjoy being thin because you're starving and hurting your body. You know, so it's just like learning what are the tapes of what people have told me playing in my mind. How do I stop those tapes and record something new? That's really what it's about. Becoming aware of what are the beliefs, what are the thoughts that I have going on in my mind, and who put them there. Because as we can see, these thoughts that we're thinking aren't even our own thoughts. They were thoughts that were put there by somebody else. a parent, a sibling, a guy who didn't like you, a girl who rejected you, a mean coach, a bad teacher. So you actually took the thoughts, whether they said them intentional or not, and in your mind started to believe them. So now that is what your belief system is about you. Now, do you believe that you're fat? Do you believe that you're undeserving? Do you believe you're not allowed to have X, Y, and Z? So you took the words of someone else and you internalized it. And that has now become your belief system. And that self-limiting belief system is what is sabotaging you now. That belief that you don't deserve, that belief that you're not worthy, that belief that you're not lovable, that belief that you're not good enough, that belief that you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too black, you're too white, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too stupid, you're too uppity, whatever it is, now is ruling your life. And that's why every time you take 2 steps forward, you feel you get knocked 5 back. Because what hasn't changed, whether it's a new relationship, a new job, a new city, whatever it is, but what hasn't changed is that loop, that belief system that you have. So, you know, when people say that they get in relationships and the same thing happens over and over and over again, not so much to blame that person, but that person is showing up as the same version of themselves. So it doesn't matter if you're dating John, Jake, Jingleheimer, Schmidt. It doesn't matter who you're dating. It's you that is dating them. And this isn't to blame you or to criticize you, but it's to let you know that your relationships will not change until you change. Until you change that tape of self-limiting beliefs to self-affirming beliefs. To your default becomes, I'm worthy. I'm good enough. I deserve respect. Everything always works out for me. I am beautiful. I am sexy. I am coveted. Everyone loves me. Everything always goes well, whatever it is. But until you co-sign your worthiness and your value, you will keep sabotaging your life. You could be married. You could have $1 million in the bank. Doesn't matter. You still will be a prisoner of your own mind. Yes. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Queen Third said, speak that life then, Candy. Yes. What you sow, you will reap. It will all come back full circle. Exactly. Jade MC says, therapy 100. Desiree BJ says, teledoc, help me. And I have a virtual session on Friday to help me leave my narcissistic husband. Yes. Well, you know, Desiree, that can be a really scary time when you're trying to leave a narcissist. So please make sure that you have a really good support system. You have a strong exit strategy in place. And yes, I'm just sending you so much love and strength, and you got this. Rose Gold Butterfly with Alafia says, what advice do you give? Okay, let me put it up so people can read it, and then I'll read it to everyone. Okay, she says, what advice do you give for a caring person that just want their family members to really get the concepts that you spoke about today? How I read that is a big thing I had to deal with being a codependent person. A recovering codependent person, because, you know, once you're conditioned one way, you still get those things that pop up. So that kind of reminds me of that, where it's you want to help other people. You want to bring them, you know, you want to bring the horse to the water and you want to make it drink. And you just think that, well, if I could only help this person see the light, then this person will be better and all of those things. So speaking from my own oh, bye, House of Princess. Thank you, sweetheart. Should go see you later, sis, going home. Okay, be safe, sweetheart. Thank you, House of Princess. So speaking from my own experience with this, I had to get really clear that I cannot control, and I don't mean control in like a mean, bad, nasty way, but and this was really, really hard for me because I was very, very codependent, and I didn't realize that me wanting to help people or wanting to help people in my family was control, because at the end of the day, they are adults, and the belief that we can control another adult is delusion. It's a delusion. It's not true. So me thinking that I wanted to help, I wanted to get them to see the light. I'm like, oh, like I'm getting so much better, all of these things. I want you to see this too. I want you to live a better life. I want you to make better decisions. I don't want you to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I want you to get out of those bad relationships. I want you to start taking care of yourself. But even though it was coming from a good place, we can never control somebody else, because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. So I think getting really clear that we cannot control other people, and that our desire to help them is rooted in, and this is a big part of codependency, is rooted in believing that our value and our worth is a reflection of what we do for other people. So as long as I am doing something for you, as long as I'm helping you, as long as I'm saying yes to you, as long as I'm showing up for you, then I am of value and of worth to you. It's performance-based value. The more that I do for you, the more worthy and deserving I feel. But that is very unhealthy, because you are putting your value and the worth in the hands of someone else, versus intrinsic value, which is we were talking about before with the diamonds. I don't have to do a damn thing for you. I am still worthy. I am still valuable. I don't have to prove my worthiness to anyone. The mere fact that I exist signifies my value and my worth. If I choose to do something for you, that is a different story. But I don't have to do something for you to prove that I'm not disposable, to prove that I have value and worth. So with that, yes, you are a caring person. I'm a caring person too. But I had to realize that people are responsible for their own journeys. You can't make someone come to the light. You can't make someone work on themselves. You can't make someone seek help if they don't want to. And then the second thing I had to get clear on was that living my life in the most authentic, empowered way was the best way to help anybody in my family. Letting my life, letting who I am, letting how I show up be the example for them. And I'll give you a real life example about that. So when I was, still young, but when I was even younger, I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm not like a go to church every Sunday type person. I'm more of a relationship with God, and I'm more of just like an all love person, where I'm just more about like, there is this beautiful, great love, energy, spirit that I call God, who loves all of us, and he loves all of us equally. And he just wants us to be the best versions of ourselves, no matter whether that is black, white, gay, straight, married, unmarried, kids out of wedlock, kids in wedlock. Like, to me, all of that type of stuff, I don't really care about. And I actually don't think God cares about it. What I think God really cares about is whether or not you love and honor yourself, and whether or not you love and honor other people, whether or not you seek relationship with him. So that's how I always was. But then I had people in my family who were very, very, very religious and very strict on it. And I never thought that they would ever care about my personal spiritual opinions or insights. You know, they would always be dismissed. Oh, whatever, you don't do this, you don't believe that. Oh, hippy dippy, la 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 la, or whatever, right? But when I started not needing them to accept and validate my beliefs, when I stopped needing them to accept and validate who I was, when I was able to say, these are what my beliefs are, and that is enough. I validate my own beliefs. I don't need you to co-sign what I believe because I believe it. And when I started doing the work and I started saying no, and I started having authentic joy, and I started having inner peace, and I started creating boundaries, and I started saying yes because I wanted to say yes, then I had people in my family come to me and be like, Candy, you know, I see this change in you. You know, you were always bubbly and happy, but now you have like this, a different type of glow, a different type of happiness. What are your beliefs on X, Y, and Z? So when I stopped needing them to validate me, that is when the validation came. It sounds so bizarre. But when I got to the point where I was just like, I literally don't care what you think about what I think. That was the moment they wanted to know what I thought. So I hope Rose Gold Butterfly, I hope that helped you in any ways. But yeah, I would just say, yes, you are a caring person, but remember to take care of yourself. Remember that you should lead by example. Let your life be the example for them. And remember, you can't control anyone. You can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. Usually when that happens, they start to resent you. They'll be like, don't tell me what to do. Don't try to control me, blah, 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 blah. But when they have a problem or if they want to complain, you're going to be the first person they call because they know that you're a caring, nice person, and you'll listen to all of their jibber jabber, all of their problems, all of their woes. But then the moment you try to give them some constructive feedback or criticism or to tell them to do something that they don't want to do, then all of a sudden you're the enemy. You don't have a backbone. You're this, you're that, you're controlling, da 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 da. So the best thing to do is take care of yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't try. Yes, you can support people on their journey, but it is not your job to fix anyone or to make someone get better, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Teresa says you have to be the change you want them to receive. Exactly. Can I get a witness's good night? A house of the princess. Yes, the princess. Good night, sweetheart. The real VB says you can do time stamps for when you get to the T. Win-win. Exactly. Thank you, the real V. Teresa says learning your boundaries in others' lives. Exactly. Knowing how much, where do you begin and where do they end? How much are you willing to give? You know? So let's see what else you guys are saying. Desiree Beats, I needed today. Yes, sweetheart. Franchetta Greer Eskridge says, you speak in truth and knowledge, Candy. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, yes, yes. Can I get a witness? Says at Rose Gold Butterfly with Alafia. Thanks for asking that question. I was also curious about Candy's approach. Yay! Queen Third Eye says, it's the expectations that others have for you that can be draining, having to explain your no. That's right. But I think the more you get comfortable in saying the no, and this is another thing, we all have these unspoken social contracts with people. Like, you know the friend to go to for X. You know the friend to go to for Y. You know who you can get away with certain stuff with, right? So we're changing these social contracts with people. So in the beginning, you might have to do a little bit more explaining about your why, but you have to get to a point where people know that your no is a no. And that you don't have to continuously explain or apologize for saying no. Because that's also a form of disrespect. And that's also a form of not honoring your boundaries. If I tell you no, let that no be a no. Don't be like, well, why can't you do it? Why can't you make it? But what about this? But what about that? Like, of course, in the beginning, you know, it's like, oh, can you come out with tonight? Oh, no, girl, I'm not feeling good. Or I'd rather stay in. You might push back one time. Like, for real, come out. It'll be fun. But then if you say, no, like I really just want to stay in, and then the person continues with, stay in for what? You're not going to be the man if you stay in, or you're abandoning me. You know I need a wing woman, or just whatever it is. When a person takes it too far, that's when you just can say, my no is a no. It's a full sentence. Sorry, but I can't talk right now. I have to go do something else. And just exit the conversation. You don't have to explain your no to anyone. Of course, you can give context. But if someone keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, then it's that person that's not respecting your boundaries. And they're trying to control you. You've already told them no, but they're trying to change your mind. And they're trying to guilt you and manipulating you. And that is what is actually selfish. You saying no is not selfish. That's just you taking care of yourself. Someone trying to guilt and manipulate you into doing what they want you to do. That is what is actually selfish. And usually those are the people who will call you selfish for telling them no. Do you ever get those people where you say no to them and they're like, oh, you're so selfish, you're so self-centered, who do you think you are, and all those things, right? They're actually the ones being selfish. Because what they're saying is, how dare you not do what I want you to do? That's what they're really saying. How dare you not do what I want to do? You are being so selfish. But the reality is, they're the ones who are actually being selfish. You're just taking care of yourself. Saying a no when it's a no and saying a yes when it is a yes is not being selfish. It's being a fully formed, healthy adult. That's what that is. Someone guilting you and manipulating you and making you feel bad and making you explain yourself 1,000 times because you're not doing what they want you to do is actually what is selfish. And it goes back to what we said before, consider the source. Who is saying this to you and why are they saying it? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Young Rich. He goes, it's a famous WWE wrestler, Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu from Total Divas on E, had to delete her Twitter because trolls was accusing her for her husband's DUI and posted his court dates. It was so sad. Yeah, I know. Like, it's hard out here on the social media streets. I am telling you, and that is so sad. And just, it again, people forget that it is an actual human being behind the screen. It's a real person reading this. It's a real person experiencing this. And I think that sometimes if we just took a half a second to be cognizant of, I'm actually talking to a person before we post and everything, it is really sad. Hey, Joanna Morris, she goes, you have preached today. Let the church say amen. Amen. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Ebony M. She says, I have a sister who's 12 years older and a god sister who's 10 years older. When I try to say no gently, they become instantly angry. But I have a very distant relationship with both. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I know that for me, and I hate saying things like, especially in the Black culture, the Black community. So I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say in general, because I think it happens across cultures, if we're being honest. Sometimes people have this false sense of what it means to be respectful of elders. They kind of think that just because they're older than you, you have to default to whatever they say or do, and you can't question, and you can't say no. And that is not true. And it seems like it might be something like that. And I say that only because you mentioned that your sister is 12 years older and your god sister is 10 years older, that maybe a part of their snarkiness and being angry is that somehow they think that just because they're older, they're entitled to you not having boundaries. And that is simply not the case. Not having boundaries and respecting your elders are not synonymous. You can respect your elders all day long and still have healthy boundaries, still say no, and still take care of yourself. So I'm really sorry that's happening, Ebony. And I know you said you have a distant relationship with both of them. So maybe that's for the best until they heal themselves and are able to respect you as the beautiful woman that you are. So definitely. Hey, Teresa. She says, Candy, your concept on abandonment was a big aha moment for me. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, there's only like a couple of core underlying motivators for stuff like this. It's the fear of abandonment. You're going to leave me if I say no. You're not going to take care of me. You're going to say I'm too sensitive. You're going to laugh at me. I won't be good enough somehow. There's some core motivating factors behind this stuff. But usually the root of it is, I don't want to be abandoned. I don't want to be left. I don't want to be rejected. Who's going to take care of me? And that usually comes from our childhood, where our needs and wants, emotional, mental, sometimes physical, were not being met as children. So we adapted and adopted unhealthy thinking patterns and unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to survive within that environment. So if you have a parent who neglects you as a child, that parent is literally your lifeline. So in your little baby mind, you think, well, I have to make sure my parent is okay. I have to make sure my parent is happy. So you then become responsible for your parent's happiness and health and well-being, because in your mind, you're trying to survive. So the person that's supposed to take care of me, I'm going to make damn sure I take care of them so that I get to survive. That is why it's called living in survival mode. It is the unhealthy conditioning and the unhealthy survival tactics that you had to adopt in order to survive. So then as an adult, you're still operating in survival mode. And what therapy does, what working on yourself does, what self-care does, what self-love does, it gets you out of survival mode into thriving mode. So you can stop being exhausted and angry and feeling like you have to do everything by yourself because you're scared that if you don't do it, no one will. Into thriving, so you can enjoy your life. You can enjoy yourself. You can be grateful. You can let other people carry the load. It's called survival mode for a reason, because as children, we will do anything we can to survive whatever condition that you're in. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Jessica Goldstone, I do that with my mom all the time. Exactly. Rose Gold Butterfly goes, Candy, you got me all the way together and spoke the truth. Yes, I will always remind myself that I don't have to prove my value. Thanks for the advice and transparency. Breaking the habit is bad, but it can be done. Yes, I'm telling you. I mean, I got you together because I had to get myself all the way together. So anything, and I'm being 100% honest, 100% transparent. Anything that I say, I'm not on a soapbox. I am not above. What I speak from is my own experience, my own truth, my own trauma, and the own work that I had to do and continuously do with myself and for myself. So when I say these things to you, it's literally because I either have lived it or I am living it. So we are in the trenches together. Let me tell you that. So that is, I'm telling you, it's from my lived experience. Hey, AL, Candy, do you have any book you could recommend as a good reading on this topic? You are truly gifted in helping people heal, or at least helping us to think about self-care. You know what? There are so many different things I can put together. Let me write that down. I can put together a recommended reading book, and I can share it with all you Candy Canes, a recommended book list. And AL, my email address is in the description box. So You can always email me too, and I can put a list together and email it to you, but I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'll put the resources together. And hold me accountable. If I forget, remind me. Rose Gold said, yes. Ebony M says, yes, it's for the best, this relationship. Thank you, Candy, for covering wellness on your channel. Oh, you are so welcome. Yes, yes, yes. We do ratchet reality TV, and we also do wellness and self-care too, because we are multifaceted people. Yes, yes, yes. Perfectly Flawed said, I am comfortable saying no now, LOL. I have no problem offering my assistance to help you budget your finances better. That's really funny. I'm guessing people were trying to use you as their personal ATM. Ebony M, some notes so far for you guys. Self-care takes you from surviving mode to thriving mode, enjoying your life. Exactly, that is the whole point. We need to go from survival into thriving. Because in survival mode, we are operating from those unhealthy habits and conditionings that we had to adapt to survive. But now we have to say to them, thank you so much for protecting me. But I have it from here. Because being defensive, being triggered, being a people pleaser, being codependent, being all of those things, at one point in our life, that is how we survived. And that is what protected us. When our mind starts to do that, it's just default. It's just our mind trying to protect us. But we have to get to the point where we're able to say to those things, thank you for protecting me, but I got it from here. You know? So yeah. So hey, Patricia. She's giving us a thumbs up sign. Perfectly Flawed said, yep. I could tell. I was like, ATM machine. Jones says, amen, beautiful. Jones says, I cut my toxic parents off. I feel better. It's true. I mean, that's the thing. We have to normalize cutting people out of our lives. Like I say this, serial killers have parents and siblings, aunts and uncles. So just because somebody is in your family doesn't mean they're a good person, and doesn't mean that they should hold position in your life. It really, really doesn't. You need to get to a place where you have your chosen family. And those can be your friends and your support groups and your therapist. Not that your therapist is your family, but you know what I mean. The chosen people in your life to truly support you. And unfortunately, sometimes those don't come in the people who are related to you by blood. And I say this from personal experience. Exactly what I was talking about earlier. That person who said all those things to me, which was literally just the tip of the iceberg with what this person has said and done to me, that was the tip of the iceberg. But now, you're damn right I protect myself from her. Family or not. Because it is my responsibility to protect myself. So hey, Abe, happy news. She goes, amen to that. I got this from here. Yeah. Amen to that. Yeah, that's what you have to say to those self-limiting beliefs, to the patterns that we got in survival mode. Thank you for protecting me, but I got it from here. I have better coping skills. I have better self-soothing skills. I know how to communicate now. I can implement healthy boundaries now. I have standards now. I seek self-validation now. So I don't need to prove and show and do for anybody. I know that I had to do that at some point to know that I would be okay. But I don't have to do that anymore. And I got it from here. Yes. Joan Jones is my therapist's family, 10 years of awesome healing. Yay. Joan Jones says, awesome sister. This is yes. To be native says, sorry, my laptop needs to recharge. Oh no, it's okay, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining. Woo. All right, you guys, we have been on here for almost 2 hours. So like, subscribe, and comment. I'm gonna take a couple more questions, and then we are gonna wrap it up, because I'm telling you, today was emotionally draining, but also very emotionally fulfilling. So as much as I pour out, sometimes I have to fill my own cup back up. Yeah, so let's see what Young Rich said. Hey, Young Rich, hey, beautiful girl or woman. She said, so should we cut a friend off if their boyfriend is majority of the contribution to the drama and trying to hook up with other girls in the group and gets mad when somebody tries to tell her about him? Yes. Oh, yes. Because this is the thing. People in toxic relationships like that, the third party, meaning the friends, the family members who try to intervene, they will always be the one who, at the end of the day, will be villainized. Your friend will come to you boo-hoo crying about her BF, but the moment they're back on good terms, you're going to be the one of the outs. You jealous of my relationship? What? You want my man? Why are you trying to break us up? You don't want to see me happy? Blah, 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 right? So on Mad Day, they're going to come after you. Don't control me. Don't tell me what to do. It's classic. And it's triangulation as well. It's called the drama triangle. She'll play victim. He'll be the big bad perpetrator. You're going to try and come in and rescue. But then the moment they're back in cahoots, you're going to be the odd man out. And she will always go back to him. And if the boyfriend is this toxic, causing drama and trying to hook up with other friends, that could get somebody really hurt. I mean, you got to really think about it. Somebody could get really hurt. Do your friends have boyfriends and he's trying to hook up with them? Is your friend stable enough? I mean, if she's staying with a man who's like this, is she stable enough not to try and pop off or fight one of your friends? Because your friend could not even want the boyfriend. But some people, if their man looks at you, they're mad at you, not the man. They will want to fight you because their man wants to, whether or not you did anything or not. So she could get somebody really hurt. So yeah, I would cut it off. I wouldn't make it dramatic. I wouldn't make it some big, like, I'm cutting you off as a friend, because you don't have to announce it. You don't have to make any type of drama. Just slowly ease out. Don't listen to the drama. Don't try and tell her anything, because if she gets mad at you, if she shoots the messenger, you're putting yourself in the line of fire, because she's going to take him back no matter what. Because it goes back to what we were talking about before. You can't control people. People are going to do what they want to do. She'll use you and emotionally dump on you when she's mad at him. But the moment they're back together, it's going to be your fault and you're going to be the bad guy. So don't make it dramatic. Don't make a big announcement, but just ease out. Stop engaging. Don't go out with them in a group. Don't engage with the drama. Just focus on your life. Focus on your friendships. Focus on your relationships. And you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You're just going to end up getting yourself or someone you like hurt. So yeah, I would, and I'm not saying you have to cut the friend off forever, but maybe during this season of this friend's life, you need to bow out, because it sounds like it could be a very dramatic, could escalate situation. So yeah, and you'll always be the one that they go against. Joan Jones says, also my mom never left. He even tried to sleep with a step cousin, and she will definitely die for him right now. Joan Jones, yes. There are some women, men, whatever it is, who are in these, it's not even about the relationship. It's about their own messed up, flawed mind, where no matter what the man does or their partner does, because men and women do it, no matter what their partner does, they are ride or die for them. And unfortunately, that does not exclude sexual abuse. Unfortunately. If we're being real, I'm sure we can think of someone who is with someone who knows that person has done something sexual, inappropriate, or foul to another person, to a child, to whatever. And instead of leaving that person, what they usually do is blame the victim, even if that victim is a child. And that's how messed up and gross it is. It's nasty. It is nasty. Aw, thank you, Patricia Gary. She goes, got no time. Me too. Good. Yes. Hey, Al, who goes, Candy with Candy W, you have to remember the process is a journey. It takes baby steps and having healthy limits. So pat yourself on the back for baby steps. Yes. No, exactly. It is definitely a journey. It is definitely a journey, not the destination. And it's a lifelong thing. It's definitely a lifelong thing. Lady Tia's t-shirts in design says, no good deed, but I know it was genuine. Don't feel bad about it. Yeah. I think you're talking about Young Rich. I agree. Don't feel bad. You were trying to do the right thing by your friend, but it just, with those type of relationships, unless that woman is ready to get out of it, there's nothing you can say or do, and she will blame and project everyone around her. So you're right. No good deed. And you can't feel bad. Just protect yourself. Hey, Obsidian, true love stories never have endings. Love is comprised of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. The best thing to hold on to life is each other and avoid drama of those who do not have such meaning. Yes. True love. Oh, thank you, Lady TS, for trying to put up them candy canes. That's right. Like this, subscribe, and put up those candy canes. All right, you guys, we have been on here for over an hour. I'm going to see the last thing that Young Rich is saying, and then we are going to get out of here. She goes, oh, BBY. Oh, by the way, I think maybe she already blocked that fight earlier. It was too much. I haven't seen a fight since middle school, and my mama was with me. Embarrassing. No, ma'am. That's right. We got too many things to do than to be out here fighting. No. Not as grown, beautiful adults. Absolutely not. Well, with that, my beautiful candy canes, I think we are going to wrap up this self-care session. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did. I got so much out of these last 2 hours. Just being with you guys really filled my cup up, and I just appreciate all of you. I hope you got some value in it as well. If anybody watching, whether live or on the replay, if you are struggling with anything, please reach out. I'll try and find some help hotline information or anything or resources and try and put them either in the description box later or just have them as resources. But if you're going through anything, reach out. Remember, have a really good support system. Find people, therapists, counselors, friends, good family members who can help you and support you, because you do not have to go through this alone. You don't have to carry any burden alone. And I love you guys so, so much. And I appreciate you for spending this time with me and for being a part of my Candy Cane community. And tomorrow we'll be back with some Ratchet reality TV recaps. I don't even know what's on, but whatever's on, some Beverly Hills or some New York or something like that. We'll get something light going tomorrow. We'll get something light, bring back the levity. But I love you guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Hit that notification bell. And yeah. Appy News says, let's do it again. Yes, Queen Third Eye says, thank you, Candy. May God continue to bless you with wisdom. Have a blessed night. Thank you so much. Hey, beautiful Young Rich, she says, bye. Good night, Queen. Goodbye, Queen. You too. 2B Black Native says, love you, Candy. Be blessed. I will. And since the whole thing was about life and death and the power of the tongue, I want to speak life into everybody watching live and to everybody watching this replay. You are blessed. You are highly favored. You are beautifully and woefully made. You are deserving of love, wealth, success, happiness, and any dream that you have in your heart. You are worthy, deserving, and capable of having it. So if no one has told you this before, I am telling it to you now. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are deserving. You are good enough. exactly as you are. And I love you. So you guys have such a good night. You guys are going to make me cry again. But I love you guys. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow. And I love you guys. Be well. All right. Bye, candy canes.